Hi, my name is Bente, I'm the Norse Witch, and welcome to another huge witchy haul. The things that I will show you in this video are like an accumulation of the things that I bought within the last 3 months or so. So no, I didn't just buy all of this stuff in one weekend, but I know that a lot of people really enjoy haul videos, so I thought I would just accumulate everything that I bought in the past couple of months and then show you everything together. As always, it's a lot of crystals and a lot of books, but we also have other things this time around, other fun things. But yeah, let's hop right into it. To be honest, I don't really know where to start, so let us start with something really random, and that is this thing right here on my chest. I don't know if that really counts as a purchase in a haul, but it is something spiritual because this is a lynx, as you can see hopefully, and the lynx is my Fylkja, and I kind of really wanted to have a tattoo of my Fylkja, so I got a lynx and I decided on oak leaves and acorns and stuff around it because the oak is one of my plant allies. I really love oak trees. So yeah, I decided on that. Just wanted to quickly show you that it's now finally done. I actually got it finished 2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago. So yeah, it is finally done. Finally, you don't have to look at only line work in my chest area anymore. It's done and I'm very happy with it. Then let us start with the first proper purchase. Well, purchase. It was a purchase because, strictly speaking, I purchased it from my own store. I showed these in my last rune casting video already. I got a lot of these rabbit pelts, ethically sourced rabbit pelts, and I made a rune throwing mat with it. This was actually the first one that I made, and I actually fell in love with it, so I decided to keep it. So I basically bought it off of my own shop. If you're interested in stuff like that, I am definitely making more of these. Also more interesting designs than only the rune circle, but I kind of like the simplistic design of it. I will make altar cloths for daily altars, general altar cloths, rune throwing mats, whatever I can think of with these, because I got a couple of them. But yeah, strictly speaking, I got this off of my own shop, just like this one actually. This is a cleansing spray. I hope that the autofocus worked. But yeah, this is a cleansing spray. And it smells so good. I was always a huge fan of smoke cleansing, and I'm still a huge fan of smoke cleansing, but making these cleansing sprays kind of changed my mind a little bit because this feels a lot different. I mean, I also, for example, I put lavender and peppermint in here, so it just smells very fresh, but in general it feels more refreshing. And smoke cleansing feels a little bit more heavy, I don't know. Yeah, I really love this. I love that it smells nice. It smells like peppermint, lavender, rosemary, sage. I mean, that's also what's in there, but it also smells like it. And I really love that. Yeah, it's just really refreshing. It feels really good. When I finished the whole batch, I made like 1 liter, I think. So I have a lot of this now. And when I finished the first batch and I poured it into the bottle and I added like a small black tourmaline chip and a small clear quartz to it, and I bottled everything up, and it just felt so good. I can't really explain it, but it felt really good. So I decided to keep 1 bottle. So I also basically bought it off of my own shop. I'm extremely happy with this. I will definitely use it a lot, especially probably for example, cleaning and cleansing my altars or cleansing crystals, like crystals that aren't water soluble. I wouldn't cleanse my tarot cards with it, probably, because yeah, it's water, so putting that on the tarot cards probably not the best idea. But yeah, apart from that, I think especially for cleansing altars and just in general the air and yourself I think this is amazing. I'm so happy with it. So I had to keep a bottle. Maybe I will also keep more bottles or give them as gifts to friends or something. I don't know, because it's just great. But yeah, that was everything that I basically bought off of my own shop. Now let us get into, let's see, divination tools, because I actually got 3 divination tools. First of all, I got the Oak, Ash and Thorn Tarot deck. I bet most of you will know this already, because who doesn't know it? It's gorgeous. It's basically themed after like European wildlife. So a lot of ravens and rabbits and foxes and squirrels, and I think I've seen a badger in there. It's just very cute. The illustrations are gorgeous. The packaging was gorgeous. Everything was just so nice. It really saddened me to see that there are now sellers on eBay and AliExpress and pages like that just copying these, like this specific tarot deck, and selling it for like 20 bucks when someone put so much time and effort into designing this thing and making this so beautiful. I just hope that if you see this tarot deck on eBay or something for like 20 bucks, it's not the original. Please don't buy it. It's a cheap copy, and whoever does stuff like that is a very bad person. So definitely make sure you get the original one. It's gorgeous. I really love it. I've only gotten it quite recently, so I haven't really tried it out yet. I will soon. I'm very excited to use it. The first thing that I thought when I opened this up and looked at the cards was that if you work with any maybe nature spirits or like very nature connected deities, I don't know, like Cornunos for example, I think this deck would be amazing to communicate with them. That was just the first intuitive thought that I had when opening this up. And actually, from the same shop, I also got a divination coin. I wasn't planning on getting anything else but the tarot deck. But then again, the shop is in the UK, and since Brexit, since the Brexit happened, shipping to Germany from the UK is very expensive, and tax and everything and customs fees and stuff like that is very expensive. So I thought, if I end up buying from the UK, I can also buy more. So I got this coin. It's basically just a big coin with 2 different sides. It's very pretty. The one side is a rabbit and the other side is a little mouse and a bee. And this is very basic divination. You can just flip a coin and see what comes up. This will come in very handy actually when I have just very simple yes or no questions, especially if I want to make decisions, because I'm very bad at making decisions. Also, my boyfriend is really bad at making decisions. So whenever we can't decide on a film or something, then I guess this will come in very handy. And it's just so beautifully made. I can't recommend this shop enough. Like, their stuff is so pretty, so cute, extremely high quality. Like even the box here is like embossed. I don't know if that's what it's called, but yeah, you can feel the print. It's not just printed on, it's, yeah, extremely high quality. Definitely recommend. This stuff is amazing. And by the way, nothing in this video is sponsored or anything. I bought all of this myself from my own hard-earned money. So I am just recommending what I actually find good. The third one is actually another tarot deck. Surprise, but when I saw that there is, I mean, this is in German now, but they also have it in English. When I saw that they make a Lord of the Rings tarot, I had to get it. And I think the design is very cool. The only thing is that I think it's called a pip style deck. So all of the minor arcana aren't, I don't want to say they aren't properly illustrated, but they don't have real individual designs. They're just like, yeah, this 8 of Cups, for example, is just 8 cups. And the 4 of Swords is just 4 swords. But at least like the court cards always have more interesting illustrations. This was more like a fun purchase actually, because I just love Lord of the Rings, and when I saw that they had a Lord of the Rings tarot deck, I had to get it. Just out of funsies. But I actually like it. very much. The cards are very thick. With the other tarot deck, the Oak, Ash and Thorn Tarot, also very, very thick, sturdy cards, so it's not like flimsy or anything. The only problem is that I usually shuffle cards and hold them like this, and they're so thick that I can't really do that. So I have to shuffle only just 1/2 of the cards at a time. So that is the only con to them. But I think better thick cards that are harder to shuffle, that are sturdy and hold up for a long time, than having very flimsy cards that break very easily. If you're a Lord of the Rings fan, maybe get it. It's not the most high quality deck. I think I spent like 20 bucks on it. Don't expect too much, but as a fun purchase, that was worth it. Next up, let us look at crystals, I guess. I think in the last haul I already showed some crystals by Silver Fern Crystals, which is Ella Harrison's crystal shop. Highly recommend their live sales, I really enjoy them. I got a very basic black obsidian tower, but I really like it. I really love obsidian. It's a very basic, very simple crystal, nothing special about it, it's just plain black. But I really like the energy, and I initially bought it as an offering to either Odin or Hel. But then I got it and I was like, I kind of want to keep it because it's so pretty and just love it. I don't know. We will see. The problem is that my deity altar is actually getting very full, and it will soon move to another dresser, which is smaller than that. So I can't really give that many like crystals and flowers and stuff like that as offerings anymore, because there is not that much space on the altar anymore. So we will see if I get to keep it or not. Next up, this was the more important purchase. This huge raw green fluorite. I have a very soft spot for raw crystals. It's just amazing. I love this rich green color. Raw fluorite especially is so pretty because it forms these very perfect squares. I really want to charge this for like communication and focus and like mental clarity and stuff like that, to then keep it where I work. That will help a lot, I think. Fluorite is my favorite crystal for work purposes, communication, mental clarity, logical thinking, memory, stuff like that. I really love fluorite for that. Next up, we have two crystals that I bought while on vacation in the Harz, actually. The first one was a very accidental, like it wasn't an accidental purchase, but I didn't intend on going to a crystal shop or buying anything. We were just strolling around Quedlinburg, and then there was this random crystal shop, and I was always looking for the perfect purple labradorite. Labradorite in general, big fan, but I've always wanted a piece that is extremely purple. And then we went into the shop and then I found this one. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. I love it so much. I instantly fell in love with it. I was so happy that I finally found a very purple lab. Also as a palm stone, perfect, because as an anxious person, I like to just have a big stone in my hand. It has the perfect size for just rubbing your finger on it. I don't know why, but it's really calming. When you have anxiety, for example, it's very calming to just rub this crystal. Probably a little bit weird, but who the hell cares? As long as it helps me. I was so happy. I was so happy when I found this. Finally, a very purple lab. But this one, oh my. I really wanted to get something from the Harz Mountains themselves. So something that is actually from there. We went to this one crystal shop that I actually also went to last year, and they have a huge section with crystals that are from the Harz Mountains, so great. But then I started talking to the owner of the shop, and she told me about Harzer Blutstein. So basically like bloodstone from the Harz Mountains. It's a very specific combination of hematite, obsidian, pyrite and quartz. So the red parts you see are the hematite, the green parts are obsidian, the white parts are quartz, of course, and then you have these pyrite veins in it. It looks amazing, and it actually has a very interesting story behind it, because there was only one mine in the whole world where this mineral could be found. It was actually a byproduct from pyrite mining. They only wanted to mine pyrite, but they found this weird combination of minerals. The problem was that after the reunion of Germany, they decided, because the mine where this was found was in eastern Germany, and after the reunion they decided to flood the whole mine. And flooding a mine with pyrite is not the best idea. So everything in this mine was lost. The crystals that exist now are the only ones that will ever be mined from this mineral, because the mine is destroyed. You can't mine this mineral anymore. That's such a dark story behind it. I don't know, but so specific, and just the mineral is so pretty, and it has a very specific feeling to it. It feels kind of dark. I can't really explain it, but it has an energy to it that I can't really compare to anything else. I haven't felt this specific kind of energy ever. Like, nothing comes near this. It's very strange, but I'm very happy I came about this. Definitely wasn't the cheapest crystal ever, which makes sense if you think about the fact that you can't mine this anymore. It's not like you can go into a mine and then get more of this. All of the crystals that you will find on the market are pieces that have been resold since the 90s. I think in 1990 the mine was destroyed. So since then, everything has just been resold and resold and resold. I'm very happy to have found something that's specifically from the Harz Mountains that is like extremely connected to it, if you know what I mean. I could have also gotten like quartz or pyrite from the Harz Mountains, but that's different because you can mine that in a lot of places, and this, you could only get this in the Harz Mountains and not even anymore. So this will stay very close to my heart. And then lastly, I already said I am in love with raw crystals, right? So I went to visit my family again, went to my favorite crystal shop there, and of course I found something. First of all, this very pretty amethyst. There's nothing really special about it, apart from the fact that all these tiny little points are just tiny and dark. So if you look at it, it glitters a lot. So I just found that extremely pretty. I can't withstand the temptation of amethyst clusters. I don't know, I can't. They're just too pretty. But when I saw this from the outside, I had to. It's just clear quartz, like it's nothing special, like it's not a rare mineral or anything, but I just can't pass on very pretty raw crystals. And this one is incredible. It has so many tiny points. It looks like a tiny white hedgehog. These are the types of things I'm looking for, just like collector's crystals. I don't need a lot of new tumble stones or anything, because I basically have everything that I need tumbled, but I just love beautiful raw specimens. They have my heart. But that was it for crystals. Let's get into books. I actually also got quite some books, so I kind of put them in collections, sorted by topic. The first topic is basically like folk traditions, superstitions, folk tales from northern Germany and Denmark. All secondhand books. Love that. If you're looking for books about fairy tales and folk tales and superstitions in specific areas, look in like online secondhand shops, and also of course used bookstores and stuff like that, because you will find things like this. This one, for example, it's a German book. It's about superstitions and witchcraft in Schleswig-Holstein, which is the uppermost northern part of Germany, where I'm from. I have not gotten into this book yet. It's also not that big. It has like 110 pages, so it's not that much, but I'm always happy about finding fringe books like this, because where do you find this, right? I mean, you could probably find it on Amazon, but if you're not specifically looking for it, you probably won't find it. So finding things like this in secondhand bookshops, win-win. Second one is also about like folk traditions, and also a little bit on paganism in northern Germany. I have actually read like half of the book, and it's very, very interesting. It also compares the superstitions and folk tales in like various different northern regions in Germany. The only problem is sometimes it's a little bit hard to read because it's not like in Fraktur or anything. I'm very happy about that, but it seems to be just scanned pages from the original book, so it's not the perfect quality, but you can read it. But yeah, this was very, very interesting. I have to finish this book at some point, but very, very interesting. And then lastly, this one is not about Germany, this one is about Danish fairy tales and folk tales, which I'm very happy about finding in German, because for some reason finding any info on like Danish folk tales and folk magic and fairy tales and stuff like that in English or German isn't that easy. So I was very happy when I found this, and this one also has like these beautiful illustrations by Danish artists. So very, very cool. The problem for me with researching folk traditions and folk magic from the area that I'm from is always that I have to research German and Danish traditions, because the area that I'm from has been Danish for a long time, but now it's German, so it's kind of a mixture between everything, and it's kind of strange, so I have to kind of research everything. And yeah, finding resources for Denmark, if you don't speak Danish, is not easy. Let me tell you that. So I guess at some point I'll have to learn Danish. So these were like about folk tales and folk traditions and stuff like that. Then I got 2 books, hefty ones, on Scandinavian folk magic specifically. This one, I'm currently reading this one, as you can see. I love it. There's so much info in there. There's a little introduction part with like vocabulary and stuff like that. And then other than that, it's just spell after spell after spell after spell. Also a lot of divination, which I was very happy about. Deeply fascinating, kind of disturbing at some points, because some of the spells are interesting. Let me tell you if I should make a video on that topic, because maybe I can tell you about the highlights from this book, or like the most disturbing spells. Let me tell you, it's a lot of stealing bones from graveyards and also a lot of urine, but we're used to that from folk magic. But yeah, lots of stealing bones and doing stuff with bones. And the second one, this is Svartkonstböcker. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but a compendium of the Swedish black art book tradition. This one, it's also just black, very plain, and it's a thick one. It is thick, and it has roughly 650 pages. I have not looked into this book yet. Maybe it will be the one that I will start after the Trolldom book. It will be interesting, and it will probably take me ages to get through this hefty, thick thing. So yeah, these 2 were about Scandinavian folk magic specifically. I'm very, very into getting into Scandinavian folk magic. It's very, very fun to dig into the traditions of your ancestors. Very, very fun. And then lastly, I kind of seem to always find books on herbs. And this one I actually found on accident when we went to a bookstore in the Harz Mountains. Yeah, it's basically about knowledge about herbs from the Harz Mountains, so specifically about the Harz, plants that grow there, and what they can be used for and everything. What I find really cool is that in the back of the book, there's actually like hikes, for example, in the Harz Mountains, where you can find specific herbs and botanic gardens and stuff like that. So there are a lot of regional resources, specifically in the Harz Mountains. So if you are into herbalism and you live near the Harz Mountains, then maybe get this book. And next up, we're getting a little bit older, because this one, it's also a German one, Geschichte und Volkskunde der deutschen Heilpflanzen. So it's basically how specific healing plants were used in folk medicine and in like history in Germany, originally from 1938, and it's just herb after herb after herb. So like there are no photos, no illustrations or anything, it's just text. I have only looked into this very, very quickly when I was researching one specific plant, But what I read was very, very fascinating. But yeah, I was very, very happy that they added a table of contents to the original version, because the original version didn't have one apparently. So I was very happy that they did, because the last book and also the last thing that I want to show you is another book about folk medicine of the Germanic tribes. And this one, I think this one is even older, 1908. And the thing with this one is that you do not have a table of contents or anything. It's just running text. Running text, running text, running text. Not even like headlines or anything where you could maybe skip through it and look for one specific herb. No, it's just plain text. So I will have to at some point just read through the whole thing and then put little sticky notes on the top to then be able to reference this book for specific herbs. So that is why I'm very, very happy that they added a table of contents to the other book, because this one doesn't have anything like that. I'm still very happy to have found it. It's Volksmedizinische Botanik der Germanen by Max Höfler, by the Forgotten Books series. I love finding out about how specific herbs were used, especially by the Germanic tribes and also during the Viking Age, just in general, like the history of how specific herbs were used. That is just extremely interesting to me, and yeah, it kind of helps me personally connect to the plants, especially that grow around my area. Definitely recommend that you do that if you want to connect to the plants around you and the spirits of the land around you, that you research the history of how these herbs and plants were used. And yeah, those were all the things that I bought in the last 3 months or so, and I just realized it got kind of dark. I'm sorry, but that's just what happens when you film with natural light. Before I stop this video though, of course, as always, Patron shoutout. Thank you very, very much to Brass Sky, I don't know how to pronounce your username, Prince Adlin's boyfriend, JB, Karina, Tim, Anna, Qboard, Kaliach, Lorna, Alexander, Laura, Amber, Kristen, John, Ivy, Phoenix, Anton, Noemi, Jenny, Tyler, Els, Betty, Misty, Cameron, Tiffany, Amy, Colette, Soren, Braden, Tell, Timothy, Coffee, or the honorary Gossip Squirrel, Bjorn, Scylla, Ash, Lucy, and Joss. As always, thank you so much for supporting me. As always, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe and give a thumbs up. And of course, check out my TikTok and my Instagram for my other shenanigans. And if you are interested in, for example, the cleansing spray or the rune throwing mat, then of course check out my shop, because they will be available there. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye!